welcome to WSRH Sports, your leading source for sports coverage at Seminole Ridge High. I'm Savannah Mazzio.
And I'm Will Claude. We've got a lot to tell you about this week's sports, but first, today's top story.
Last Friday night, our varsity football team went up against John Carroll Rams. WSRH sports reporter Austin Lamanna has the play-by-play.
Last Friday night, the Seminole Ridge varsity football team went up against the John Carroll Rams. Let's break it down. Starting off, Manny Fernandez had a kick return to the 40-yard line, putting the Hawks in a great field position. Not long after, the Hawks went on to punt the ball, but were blocked and intercepted by the Rams, getting them their first touchdown. After fighting for 8 minutes in the first quarter, receiver Ty Jackson was able to make the first touchdown for the Hawks. During the second quarter, both teams stayed strong with good defenses, but no touchdowns were made. During the third quarter, the Rams were able to push through to get their second touchdown of the night. Not long after, Ty Jackson was able to score, giving the Hawks their second touchdown. Right after this, on the 20-yard line, running back Robbie Pinero was able to go in and make another touchdown. Going into the fourth quarter, Ty Jackson was almost able to make his third touchdown of the night, but a flag was pulled, costing the touchdown to be recalled. During the last 2 minutes of the game, the Rams were able to score the game-winning touchdown over the Hawks. In the end, with only a 3-point difference, the Hawks lost 18-21. For WSRH Sports, I'm Austin Lamanna.
When it comes to juggling academics and sports, it can be pretty rough. Let's see how one kid balances it all. WSRH sports reporter Kira Taub has the story.
Here at Seminole Ridge, we have a lot of student athletes, but this one student in particular stood out.
As a student, would be balancing sports, work, and homework. Also trying to lose weight to get healthier. It was just like, on top of everything, I still had to work out, make sure my grades are good, and it took like a big impact on me mentally to keep going. So that was the hardest thing I'd ever done.
For some students, being both a student and athlete seems like a challenge. But for Daniel, even through difficult times, he continues to push through and work hard.
It's a lot of time. Students don't really know how much time these guys actually put in when we're not here. I mean, the 2.5 hours every day after school from 3 to 5:30 is just the tip of the iceberg.
People are recognizing the amount of work he is putting in and his efforts contributing to his sport, as well as getting schoolwork done in a manageable time.
After a game, I get home at like 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and I still have to do homework and like still wake up after. So I don't go to bed till like 12, 1 o'clock sometimes doing homework. And like, it does suck, but like, you got to get it done.
As a busy person, Daniel is still striving to keep his grades up, dealing with heavy amounts of work and in such little time.
All these guys have shortened time frames to get their homework done, study for tests, things like that. So to be able to maintain a high GPA while he maintains and excels in football, that's any parent and coach would be proud of what he's accomplished.
As well as his coach noticing how hard the time commitment is, he is proud of all of Daniel's accomplishments. His achievements inspire other students to work hard and aim for more.
It definitely is hard. It's not for the weak. I can tell you that much. Football is a really physical sport. So if you're not built for it, you're just not built for it, But like, it does get hard, but once you get into the groove of things, it gets easier.
Balancing school and football sounds pretty tough, but for Daniel Pierre-Lewis, it's not that difficult after overcoming some challenges. For WSRH Extra, I'm Kira Taub.
The package you just watched received recognition at FSPA District 7 for first place sports package. In addition, our freshman football team went up against Park Vista last week. WSRH sports reporter Carlos Suarez has the play-by-play.
Last week, the Seminole Ridge freshman football team faced off against Park Vista Cobras in a head-to-head matchup. The Hawks are going into this game after a massive victory over Wellington, hoping to do the same here. Starting off the game, the Hawks defense put pressure on the Park Vista quarterback with the linebacker Dimitri Piat having a huge sack in the backfield. Unfortunately, the Hawks couldn't keep the same energy on offense with an interception by the Cobras defense. Later on in the game, Park Vista had a screen pass taken for a touchdown, but this wasn't enough for them to overcome the Hawks. Seminole Ridge ended up winning the game with a score of 38-20. For WSRH Sports, I'm Carlos Suarez.
Yesterday, our boys swim team had their senior night against Garcia High School. WSRH sports reporter Alex Palladino has the highlights.
Last night, the swim team had their senior night meet at Calypso Bay against the brand new Garcia High School. This was the first ever meet between the two schools, with many more future meets to come. In the girls' medley relay, Kira Ratura started it off with a strong backstroke to put the Hawks in the lead. Unfortunately, the girls could not keep the pace up and finished second. In the boys 100 freestyle, Bryce Figuerella got a personal best under 60 seconds, and stars Manoel Masonette and Alex Palladino finished right behind him for top 5 placements. In the 500 freestyle, Taylor Rizzi finished far ahead in first place and Omar Castillo finished right behind her to secure the first and second placements for the race. With Garcia's lack of swimmers, the Hawks were able to pull off the win on a very special senior night. For WSRH Sports, I'm Sebastian Solis.
All across the world, there's debate on whether student athletes should have the right to profit their name, image, and likeness. Let's see what WSRH sports reporter Reagan Bresnahan has to say about the topic.
Name, image, and likeness, or NIL, a legal concept referring to an individual's right of publicity, their ability to capitalize on anything that identifies them. From college gymnastics to college football, Olivia Dunn to Kool-Aid McKinstry, student athletes across the country have managed to score millions of dollars through NIL deals. This begs the question, should we allow high school students to benefit from NIL opportunities? While the prospect of high school student athletes making millions of dollars is exciting, the introduction of NILs raises a more pressing issue. Predatory lending. Without proper oversight, there's the risk of players mortgaging their futures for money in the present. Case in point, Gervon Dexter. The Chicago Bears' second-round pick signed a predatory NIL deal for just over $400,000 that requires he pay back 15% of everything he earns for the next 25 years. That's over $1 million just on his rookie contract. Without proper oversight, even college players don't get it right. If they aren't reading the fine print, how do we expect high schoolers to? Currently, collegiate student athletes have managed to find some incredible opportunities through NIL. So yes, with proper management, NILs in high school could be a home run for student athletes. But even the pros haven't gotten it right just yet. Until we can learn to deal with the growing issue of NILs in colleges and universities, we should keep them out of high schools. Reporting for WSRH Extra, I'm Reagan Bresnahan.
The package you just watched received recognition at FSPA District 7 for all Florida sports commentary. In other news, our girls volleyball team went up against Dwyer last week. WSRH sports reporter Savannah Mazzio has the play-by-play.
The Seminole Ridge girls varsity volleyball team hosted Dwyer in a match against the Hawks and the Panthers. Senior Jaslyn Williams served the ball over to the Panther side for an ace, giving the Hawks a point. As the ball makes it over to the Hawks side, Gracie O'Neill hits the ball to Sophia Garamone to set the ball for a big spike by Brianna Namad. Elena Solani retrieving the Panthers' ball, passing it to Sophia Garamone, passing it back to Elena Solani, passing it back to the Panthers. As the Panthers pass it back to the Hawks, Grace Ron passes it to Sophia Garamone to set it up to Olivia Reed to spike it for another Seminole Ridge point. Unfortunately, the Hawks came short to the Panthers, losing 1-3. For WSRH Sports, I'm Savannah Mazzio.
Taking a look at next week's sports, we have Tuesday, boys golf is going up against Somerset Academy at Winston Trails at 4 p.m. Wednesday, we have freshman and junior varsity football home going up against Wellington at 5 and 7 p.m. Thursday, we have girls volleyball home going up against Cardinal Newman from 5 to 7 p.m. Friday, we have varsity football going up against Atlantic at home at 6:30. Good luck, Hawks.
Well, that's it for WSRH Sports. I'm Will Claude.
And I'm Savannah Mazzio. Remember that you can follow us on social media on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Seminole Ridge TV. Have a great day, Hawks.